Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. It is the 27th of December 2022. News and views with me, Julie Ali, right here on Salam Media. Please become a part of the conversation. You might be enjoying a wonderful holiday, maybe at home. Maybe you're having a staycation, or maybe you're out at an exotic venue enjoying some very great quality time with your loved ones. But whatever it is that you are doing, please do become a part of the conversation. I'll give you the easiest number, which I always give out, and that's the WhatsApp line 0617660355. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program. My colleague, multi-award winning journalist and media personality, Faisal Patel. Nice talking with you. Welcome to the show. And of course, I see, like me, you are working as well. Like I said, some of us has to work.
Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah for the opportunity. I'm actually not working.
Oh,
I finished yesterday, but unfortunately, in the news cycle and the news media, the news never ends, and
absolutely.
you continue. So unfortunately, it's that trait that comes with being a news junkie, where you can't just sit and relax. So I've been shouted at by my wife and my kids, just switch your computer off, but unfortunately it's ingrained in me. When you love what you do, then you continue to do that at odd times, even when it's early in the morning or when you're on leave as well.
I identify with that absolutely and totally. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So, Faisal, we had this horrendous racial attack of black teenagers at a resort in the Free State. The EFF obviously has come out very, very strongly. They went on to say that white people need to unlearn the logic that they deserve, that they deserve their own space, supposedly. How and what are your views on the issue? And I know as a journalist, we try and be very, very objective, but we also have personal views on this, very especially when we have mixed race families, when we
Mm.
have white people that are married into our families, and it kind of leaves us in a space where we kind of wonder, what is going on here? Because, alhamdulillah, the white people that are, in our families, we know that they have very different views. They like us, they're human as we are, and they too, sympathize or empathize with situations like these.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a very heated topic at the moment. I've got a lot of backlash on social media platforms for an article I've actually written yesterday, taking a different perspective on the story and asking the question, is there more to this story than
Absolutely.
actually what is being said? And unfortunately, this narrative or this angle that I took doesn't necessarily, um, is well received by those that are angry, that are heated with regards to what actually happened to those boys, the teenagers, the 14 and the 18-year-old. Now, as a journalist, obviously, you do your research, and there's accusations that have been passed on social media with whether I spoke to the sources or I didn't speak to the sources, and I'm just taking the tweets from a certain Willem Pels's account with regards to a different narrative to what actually happened. Obviously, I'm not allowed or by law to disclose my sources or to tell anybody whether I spoke to them or not. But everybody seems to be following the narrative of what actually happened to the boys. But nobody seems to be asking what actually happened prior to that. Now, I'm not condoning what actually happened to the boys. I mean, that is obviously atrocious. And I do not stand for racism in whatever form it is, whether it's black on white, white on black, Indian on colored, colored on Indian, and vice versa. No matter which angle you look at it from, racism is just plain wrong. And we shouldn't be harboring any prejudices against anybody, religion, or culture. But
Faisal,
unfortunately,
um, may I go ahead?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I asked a similar question to my husband. I kind of asked, um, well, what I said to my husband is, if those youngsters were not black, had they been white guys, would we have seen the outrage that we're seeing now? And what led up to that confrontation? I kind of asked the question, as you had as well, was this couldn't have been something that happened out of the blue. Something must have provoked the response, maybe not necessarily as harsh a response that we've seen and we've heard about, but something must have triggered a response from the white people there for them to have responded or reacted in the way they had. So that was the question I asked. My husband fully agreed with me. So currently, as you indicated, we totally condemn what had happened, but we need to also dig deeper. We need to go to the backstory. What happened prior to the incident? What was the action or what was said that provoked the response that we've been seeing on our screens and what we're reading about in mainstream media?
Look, I'm going to come on to exactly what my sources told me and what Willem Petzer has actually posted on social media, which is free and available to everybody to read. When I seen his post, I actually contacted him and I asked him to send me the three sources or context for the three sources that he actually mentioned in the post. And I actually managed to speak to one of them, with the other two not being available. So let me give you an idea of what actually stemmed. If you, and I'm going to use this as a plain and simple example, if you go to Wombats, which is the Bella Bella Resort, you go there as either a visitor and stay over, or alternatively, you go over as a day visitor. Now, for those that have been there, you'll understand that if you stay over there, then certain amenities become available to you to use during your stay there, which is the hydro and the spa and a whole lot of other amenities that are there. But if you are a day visitor, only a certain amount of amenities become available, probably the outdoor pool and the outdoor jacuzzi. Now, according to Willem, and this is not my narrative, but merely just saying what my source told me and what Willem has posted on social media, was with regards to the white family or the whites that were staying there, and they had the use of that particular pool as part of the stay at the resort. And the black family apparently, and this is just what was posted on social media, and what my source told me was the black family were just day visitors, and they just happened to be there for that day, and there were different facilities available to them, not because it was a whites only pool or a blacks only pool, but because of the different stay and the duration of the stay. But anyway, so according to what my source told me and what Willem posted, was that these two black teens actually came to the pool and allegedly pushed a 3-year-old white girl into the pool. Whether it was accidental or deliberate, we'll obviously need to check that out, and it will get tested when they appear in court. And they pushed in a pool, and this little girl couldn't swim, and her father had to then jump into the pool and apparently rescue this little child. He then confronted the teens, and say that, are you people staying at the resort or are you just here for the day? They told him no, they're there for the day. So he says he wants to go to the management office and lay a complaint against them because they obviously caused that. He then told them that you're not allowed to be here because you're day visitors. This is only for residents. And the father then allegedly approached him and said, look, don't lay complaints. We are very, very sorry, and we will go to the other pool. So that was then dusted and settled. Later, according to Willem and according to the source, these two teenagers came back with their sister who filmed the incident, and also came with a group of other, black children, and they started arguing, and that's when the sort of the argument ensued, and the whole pushing, and then the video was then recorded, and there was a whole lot of insults hurled, and that video was since posted by Tumi Frost, who was the sister of one of the teens, and that's where we are at the moment. So
Okay,
there's different versions of
right.
actually what happened. I'm going according to the source that told me. Like I said, there's a lot of accusations being labeled that I didn't speak to the sources, but I have spoken to them, and I'm not willing to disclose. I'm not going to disclose those sources
Of
because
course not.
that's what we do. But the country and a lot of people seem to be only taking one narrative, but not asking what actually led up to that. And that's the narrative I took. And that's when you take that particular narrative, then you labeled as what I've been called a racist. I must go back to India, and my family was dragged into it. But obviously, you extricate yourself from all those nonsense, and you just do what you're supposed to do, which is your work.
Okay, Faisal, we're going for an ad break. When we get back, inshallah, we'll continue the discussion. That, of
Perfect.
course, is Faisal Patel, multi-award-winning journalist and media personality. He's also a colleague here at Salam Media. He presents the Sunday night tech show. So let's go and pay the rent. We'll be back in a minute or two. And what's your thoughts on the issue now that you're hearing, now that you're almost getting perspective on the story? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do become a part of the conversation right here on News and Views with me, Julie Ali, on Salam Media.
Salam Media.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Once again, winter has made itself known in the Syrian and Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon as well as Afghanistan. Thousands are left to face this bitterly cold season of rain, flooding and snowy conditions. Africa Muslims agencies on the ground empowering families with winter rescue kits. Assist and sponsor a winter rescue kit for only 3,500 Rand per family. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, commemorating 35 years of empowering, educating, inspiring.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
When winter comes, it's more than just cold. For millions of refugees, displaced persons, flood-affected families, and impoverished households, winter is a question of survival. That's why the Al Imdad Foundation is reaching out to deliver winter aid to struggling communities in 14 countries across the globe. Help spread the warmth today by sponsoring a winter pack for 600 Rand. Donate online at www.alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 8:21 a.m. I am talking with a colleague. That, of course, is Faisal Patel. He presents the tech show here at Salam Media on a Sunday evening. He's also a multi-award winning journalist and a media personality. We're talking about that horrendous story that played out in the Free State regarding the two black teenagers allegedly being assaulted or had been assaulted by white adult males. Now, Faisal, you did indicate that the black teenager's sister came along and she then recorded the incidents that then happened thereafter. It's almost as if, and again, it's perspective. There's three sides to every story, but it almost sounds as if this was now provocation from the part of these teenagers. Having said that, we now hear that a charge of attempted murder has been laid against the said perpetrators, and that is the white adult males, very especially the one who supposedly or allegedly dunked or submerged the head of one of the teenagers, submerged the head into the water. And there is footage that it has gone viral on of that incident. Have you heard anything further on that specific incident?
Yeah, look, I mean, I was among the first to report on the story, the initial story, and that seems to be like, people only look at the one side. I've written three stories on this particular one, which is the initial incident, which you speak about, the footage, and then the EFF, which then went to the resort the next day and obviously protested. They wanted to address the management, which I'm sure they spoke to the management. I then also reached out to the boy's father. His name is Brian Nakedi. He actually sent me a message with regards to say that they want the assault charges, upgraded sort of to attempted murder. He then sent me this, that the prosecutor had then instilled this as attempted murder charges. This obviously stems from one of the white individuals actually dunking the little boy into the pool and, supposedly trying to drown him. But other than that, I think it's become just sort of a heated sort of a story at the moment. We'll have to wait and see when they appear in court. I think it's today, or they're still looking for those individuals. But there's so many different versions to the story. So, and the thing is, we've seen this over the years. Adam Katsavelos on the beach, I think it was in Greece. We've seen now recently another lady as well. These things tend to rear their ugly head. They come out of the woodwork with these racist incidents. But people are heated, they're angry, but you also need to look at it as a clear and level head. Sometimes you have to go against the norm and look at all sides of the story, as you rightly mentioned, three sides of the story. So no new developments at the moment, other than the fact that the police are investigating this case, which is now attempted murder. One of the sources that I spoke to yesterday told me they are consulting their own attorney with regards to what happened, because apparently, and according to him, there were many other witnesses who actually seen the incident from beginning, what actually happened. And we know the whole prima facie sort of evidence thing. They're not allowed to speak or disclose anything. So he just gave me a little bit information that he's allowed to give about actually what happened. So that's where it stands at the moment. And we're just trying to make sense of actually what happened. And hopefully, but I must stress at this point that I do not agree. Even if the little girl was thrown into the pool and there was an altercation, I do not agree with what the white individuals did by attacking the teenagers, because they are still children. That sort of behavior cannot be tolerated at any level. And even dunking the head or hitting them or whatever it is, that we can't tolerate that. There's amicable ways of sorting these things out. And if the white individuals were allegedly involved in attacking this and their motive was to actually hurt the teenagers or the children, then obviously they must be held accountable for their actions.
What do you believe could have been a simple and amicable resolution to how things played out? Because it's now gone very deep and very ugly. allegations, counter allegations, lawyers are being involved, and the issue is going to land up in court. Very especially, what is worrying is the attempted murder charge. And for both families and for both parties concerned, I should imagine everyone went out for a wonderful day out in the sun, being with their loved ones, relaxing and having really a good day out. I don't think anyone anticipated something like this, that their day would turn so ugly and so horrendous. Somewhere along the line, I always say that in a wink of an eye, a really simple thing can turn horribly wrong, horribly ugly, horribly deadly as well. With the best of intentions, and things can just go so horribly wrong. Somewhere along the line, maybe common sense should have prevailed, either on the part of the white adults or on the part of the youngsters or their father. Someone could have and should have intervened and prevented this from going so far, where we're now looking at possible murder charges or attempted murder charges, and possibly court cases which is going to end up costing people a lot of money, some of whom which may not even be able to afford it.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. It's very difficult to say if there was any intervention from anybody at the pool, but there were some people who were trying to break up the altercation. So whether there were discussions after that, I don't really know. But rightly so, as you mentioned, I think, instead of this actually going viral, the sister should have thought before posting the video, who knows what the intention was, but they should have sat down with the management of the resort around a round table and, discussed actually what happened, what transpired, and then, apologize if there need be, and, say sorry or whatever it is, because it humble you. It doesn't make you less of a human being to say that you are sorry, and this could have been just washed away and everybody could have just enjoyed their holiday. Unfortunately, as you rightly mentioned, it's escalated to a point where even the president of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, then issued a statement yesterday on this particular incident. He's actually speaking in the Free State today, and no doubt he will be touching on this particular topic, but he said that racism cannot be condoned in any form, and racists must face the full might of the law. But I also want to stress that, this doesn't only happen among these communities. At the beginning, you mentioned your introduction that, there's mixed race families. I'm one of them, a mixed race family. My wife is white, I'm Indian. And unfortunately, we get this. We still get it even till today, 17 years later, after we got married and she reverted to Islam. We still get it, where the prejudices are there, when people look at you with snide eyes. Or when our first child was born, that somebody in a local mall almost pushed the pram down the flight of stairs because they wanted to see what color our baby was. So unfortunately, we still live with these prejudices, and people still hurl insults. You just have to go to the Twitter handle on this particular story to see how people are being prejudiced towards each other, whether it's white, Indian, black, colored, and different races. So these kind of incidents seem to bring out the worst in people. And the question then remains is South Africa really, really free of racism and prejudice? In my opinion, and just my opinion, I don't think so. There are a group of people and a group of people that have embraced the Rainbow Nation, but I think we still got a long, long way to go. Prior to this interview this morning, I was actually penning an opinion article about this whole incident, and giving context about this incident, and the word that I used, and I'm just going to give you a tidbit, is Schadenfreude. It comes from a German word which means to take joy in the struggle and the challenges of other people, which others relish in. So unfortunately, we are living in a society where others thrive on the suffering of others. Like I mentioned, and I just want to reiterate, I do not condone what actually happened. Those whites, if they are accused of anything, should be held accountable. But I think there would have been an easier way to settle this. Court costs, expensive court records, criminal records. It's just something that you don't need even before the new year has begun.
Absolutely, Faisal. This obviously is a developing story, and undoubtedly we will be touching sides with you again maybe during this week or next week as well. You go well. Thank you, as always, for being available to talk to us. Really and truly do appreciate it. And I'm going to go totally off track here. I just want to pass something by you. You can respond if you so wish to. If not, give you food for thought for perhaps one of your future opinion pieces, and that is what I was thinking about yesterday. The issue with the situation of the Durban beaches and the horrendous state of our national roads and even our local roads, provincial and national roads. And the thought that popped into my head is, where is our president? He is absent from all of these. These are national crisis situations. I mean, the fact that we won't be seeing tourism, foreign tourism in KZN. Can you imagine what a dent it's putting into the coffers of the people in that part of the world? I've been told by family who live there that in the past, where we saw all these traders, these crafters on the beachfront selling their trade, they're no longer there simply because there aren't any people to support them to buy their goods. What about all the waiters? It's just impacting in such a huge way. And the question, as I said, popped into my mind, and I asked, where is our president? These are the issues he should be coming down to the ground and addressing. And of course, the issue of the roads, the national roads, they are absolutely horrendous. Lives are being lost, families are being split apart, and being absolutely devastated. Again, I ask, where is our president?
I think,
So,
there's a story I wrote last week, an opinion piece. I wrote, and the listeners are welcome to read it on the Citizens website. I wrote, we are living in a broken country. And the thing is, well, and it stemmed from a little thing. I went to the post office here in Zakaria Park, and there was a notice in front of the post office. I support an international charity where they were making coins for people that are paraplegic, that they can have wheelchairs. And they had this beautiful little coin, which I ordered from overseas, and I was looking forward to this. And eventually, when I got a slip to go to the post office, it said that the post office is closed until further notice because the keys had broke and the locksmith had not come. And that just irritated me because a simple thing like collecting your parcel, Christmas was coming for those that are celebrating, waiting for Christmas presents, or maybe somebody that went overseas and ignited a new love and met somebody there and writing letters in the old-fashioned way to write letters, like how people used to do so. And the thing is, when I looked at it a little bit, I said, there's so many things that are broken in this country, and the president's nowhere to be found. They're jostling for positions. We seen in the city of Joburg, Mpo Palatse fighting for a position as mayor, the president fighting to be the president of the ANC, and yet everything is falling around them like a house of cards. We've got this ESCOM issue. We had some reprieve around Christmas for the load shedding, and that has been now back to stage 3. We've seen the corruption, we've seen the potholes. It's just so much to do, and I don't know. I think the president has just got too much to deal with, and at the moment, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I think the opinion piece actually explains it. And the Durban one you mentioned, quite rightly so. I just had family that returned from Cape Town, and I've got somebody that's actually in Durban. You could book at any hotel anywhere on the beach front, and you would pay a fraction of the cost because they were just so empty.
wow.
Normally, a lot of people would go to the souk. That was one of the main draws of the December festive period, to go to it was called that time the Al Ansar Souk. And apparently there was literally close to nobody there,
Sure.
because you couldn't go to the beaches. And my brother was telling me, it's like, if you want to go shopping, just go to Sandton City. You're not going to drive 600 kilometers to go to Durban to go to Gateway because you can't play on the beaches. So we are living, in my opinion, we're living in a broken country. And I think the president really needs to come to the party. And for those that are feeling aggrieved, you feel that load shedding is impacting your lives, or potholes, or whatever it is, then you have a voice, you have a choice. You go to the polls in 2024 and you make that informed choice for what you want. If you feel that the party that you're voting for or voted before is not making a difference to your life, then then vote for somebody
Absolutely.
else. And then I just want to conclude on this. One just needs to, and it's part of the opinion piece, to search Facebook Marketplace, which I do, and sometimes I buy some things off there. If you search on there, you will see the number of immigration sales that are on that particular marketplace. People are selling up and leaving this country. And when I send them a message and ask them, why are you selling all your stuff? They just said, enough. We've had enough. We want to go. This country is not what it used to be, and we don't think it's going to get better. And that's the opinion that I have as well.
Faisal, you and I have lots to talk about in many, many conversations in the future, inshallah. Go well and enjoy the rest of the holidays. Inshallah, may it be a peaceful and very safe time for you and your loved ones, and for all of our listeners here at Salam Media. Nice talking with you once again. Go well. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
That was Faisal Patel. He is a colleague here at Salam Media. As I have been saying over the past while, he presents the Tech Show on a Sunday evening, but he is also a multi-award winning journalist and media personality. Standing by to talk to us at 8:37 a.m. is the activist and co-founder Free Rohingya Coalition. He's based in Germany, and he is Naisan Lin. We will go to him in a minute or two. We need to go for an ad break, inshallah. Do stay with us. News and views on Salam Media.